Global militaries used paranormal war tactics since ancient times, and they had a lot of enemies pretty spooked. Our language on Bewitched Banter might spook you too. Content is explicit. You have been warned.
Welcome! You are listening to Bewitched Banter. We're two best friends.
One skeptical, ahem, Amy.
And our resident believer, Krista.
Talk about all the universe's divine powers.
Or what I would call magical thinking.
But really, we talk about spooky, spiritual, some wacky religions, cults, and the paranormal.
Where I like to bring us back to Earth and talk about how science basically debunks this shit.
This bitch needs to get right with the universe, y'all. Let's get spiritual. Today, we are covering Paranormal War Tactics.
They're so cheesy, I love it.
And for the first time since launching almost a year ago, I'm going to ask that my friend Amy, the skeptic, read my horoscope for today, September 3rd.
Krista has been pushing this shit hard, guys.
Sure have, y'all. It's been my covert operation this whole time.
Yes. She's like, how do I get Amy to talk about horoscopes? And she got me, bitch.
Sure did.
Okay.
For the win.
I'm like, I don't know. Okay, so you can expect more soothing energy.
Ooh.
What does like soothing energy even mean? More inner harmony and balance. Inner harmony.
That's what Libra's about.
You may enjoy solitude during this time. You will have time to enjoy yourself, to feel yourself.
Ooh. I am. What I tell you in the pool.
To feel harmony.
Self-care Saturday. Popping off.
God, that's dirty.
To feel harmony and peace with yourself. Yes, ma'am. Bathtub tonight. Amy's horoscope.
Is that why you chose it? Because it sounded thirsty?
No, actually, before I read Amy's, we're reading it from an Instagram account called Moon Omens. And that's where I'm going to source our monthly horoscopes from, or our weekly. Sorry about it. Look, she looked at me cockeyed. Yeah, bitch, it's weekly, not monthly. I'm going to source our weekly horoscopes from every week here. Moon Omens. Gemini, for September 3rd, you can expect more harmony between you and your family members.
Because they're far away.
You want to beautify your environment and to invest in things that make you feel good, that
like
make
TJ
you feel
Maxx.
pleasant and
I'm a
comfortable. Hashtag sponsor us, TJ Maxx, thanks.
I was like talking to you in the pool. I was like, I had the best day ever. I went to Home Goods.
So us now. And a lovely pumpkin spice candle that she's got from also Basic Becky Town.
Bath and Body Shop. I was at the Chandler Mall, just
living in best Becky life.
Living my best middle class life. It was great.
Oh,
I kind of
man.
wanted to go to cheesecake, but we didn't.
And will anything resonate in your horoscope or not, other than just living your best Becky life, investing in you?
I mean, I think it's 100% worth it.
Because you're worth it.
Yeah. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Totally wrong brand, girl. Cover girl. You're worth it.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even get that.
Oh, no. Your Englishness once again fails American pop culture.
Hey, I know Maybelline. That's like the only one I know.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
What were you asking me?
What was I asking you? Oh, no, just if your horoscope even resonated.
Oh, no.
For today, September 3rd.
I mean, I like to beautify shit.
I mean, that's what we were talking about Maximistism earlier about, is beautifying your home. So, anyhow.
I did go thrifting this weekend.
Oh, that's fun. That's such a you thing to do, I think. Like, I don't know. Artsy Amy. I love it. But here's the difference though. She can at least actually make pieces look stellar and beautiful. Pieces of unique artwork. My shit is so bad. Like when I get the contact paper that look like wood and like covered some piece of shit Goodwill thing that I have.
Oh, yeah. Did you get $2?
But I tried. Is my point.
No, but it was $2.
Oh yeah. Or I think it was 5, but either way.
Damn, you splurged that day.
I did. It was ballin'. Well, the point is, Amy's gonna interior decorate the home that I'm manifesting this time next year. So woohoo!
We'll be recording in your new pad.
But yeah, I'm gonna have a whole podcast room.
That'd be sweet.
Yep.
We'll make it like really comfy chairs.
Real comfy chairs, a whole 9. We're gonna hook it up. Inspiration everywhere with my crystals.
On house.
Oh yes, houseboy. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we manifested your Scottsdale daddy.
Oh yeah, tell us. Let's talk about my real quick before we dive into Paranormal War Tactics. Different bros and different area codes.
Yeah. So Krista, we manifested earlier her having a rich Scottsdale daddy, and he will invite me and Corey along to the boat, and we'll say, "No, we could never." Okay.
No problem. I mean, sure, maybe just once.
Oh, you're paying my tab again? Oh no, don't do that.
Slowly gestures to fake motion to pay. Oh my god.
So we manifested that as her North Scottsdale daddy, and then we were going to talk about she was going to have a religious man from Chandler.
Mm-hmm. Chandler Gilbert with
super religious.
But on the sly, he like a nasty freak.
Yeah. And then we're going to have Arcadia Phoenix.
Arcadia Downtown Phoenix boho music guy.
Yeah.
Beer music guy.
Yeah.
So those are my different bros and different area codes.
That's the Greater Phoenix shit we've been talking about today.
Yeah, we got really stoned. At least I did. Amy too.
Yeah. What did I do earlier?
We had brunch because she was also hungover. She might be still up on the clouds somewhere. I am a little bit, but I'm toning it down to tell y'all this story about Paranormal War Tactics.
Okay, what you got?
So, wait a minute. So totally before, I remember this while you're going to the bathroom. Before I get into paranormal war stories, this is like the first time we're recording old school style, and it feels kind of good. But you went to Joe Rogan by accident, and you didn't ever tell me that story. I wanted to hear it.
Oh, so Corey got tickets to Alex Moffat, right?
Yeah, that's the one you were supposed to see.
Yeah,
we
and
talked
so
about last.
Corey always gets free tickets from downtown Phoenix, and so he didn't check the address. So we were running late, and they're like, well, we don't even know if we're going to let you in because they already started recording. So it's like recording a Netflix special.
Oh, cool. That's tight.
And we're like, well, we can let you in. Well, because we were recording a Netflix special, they weren't giving out water. And I was like dying of thirst the whole show.
That's like illegal in Arizona, I feel like.
It was so hot. And I was like, I need a glass of water. And like, as soon as we left, we like went to a restaurant and got like water. I was dying. But anyway, so.
No, you were with your parents, right?
Yeah. And the opener was like, the first opener was kind of questionable. I was like, okay. The second one was disgusting. He pissed me off. He was like making jokes about women being fat. And I'm like, that's just low comedy.
Yeah,
He was talking about Amy Schumer, how fat she was. And I was like, that's not funny to me to fat shame someone. And she's also not fat.
Yikes.
And then he was like saying all this stuff about, he said basically called Puerto Rico a piece of trash.
Oh, hi, Mini Trump. What the fuck?
And he said Trump, and so everyone started cheering, and we were like, what the fuck? I was like, this is not lining up. Because Alex Moffat makes fun of Trump, and these are a bunch of Trump supporters around me.
So you didn't even know at this point that...
No, I didn't know.
Oh, my God.
So I kept asking Corey, I was like, are we at the right show? This does not make sense, like this lineup. Because usually, like, if it was going to be a show for liberal people, they wouldn't be having that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to know your target audience. he's like, I don't know. And they kept saying Joe Rogan. I'm like, are we at Joe Rogan's show? And then Joe Rogan came out, and I was like, oh, is Alex Moffat coming out after him? This is so
Yeah,
weird.
it'd be a weird pairing.
Because our phones were locked up because they were recording it, so you can't access your phone.
Oh, that makes sense.
And so, yeah, I realized, I was like, Corey, this is the wrong show. Isn't that crazy? I was like,
oh, shit.
My mom got so pissed off, she stopped listening halfway through.
Oh, man. I mean,
because my mom was like, the second guy was just awful. Joe Rogan himself wasn't that bad.
No, he's. I mean, take it for what it is. I know he has a lot of controversial shit with anti-vax, but anyway, he's a fabulous interviewer, and I also kind of like that he said "fuck you" to Sirius XM if I pissed you off. Good, or Spotify, excuse me.
Is that what he said?
Mm-hmm. He said, "Good. I'm glad I pissed you." Because, frankly, you know how I feel about censorship. It's even if I don't agree with your batshit crazy QAnon ass, like. Unfortunately, you still have the right to say it, just as long as you're not getting violent. But yeah, that sucks. Your poor mom. Oh, Vicky.
Anyway, but Joe Rogan wasn't that bad. It was just the second opener, and when he started doing like the Amy Schumer shit.
But yeah, that's not okay to body shame.
And call Puerto Rico a piece of trash. I was like, eh.
Ugh. So that's wild. So you were like, oh fuck, we're surrounded by MAGA people.
Yeah, and then my throat started to close up. I'm like, oh, these are all the people that have COVID without a vaccine.
Exactly.
That's where my mind went.
Oh my god, you weren't wrong.
And I was like, my mom is gonna kill Corey if she has COVID here because they haven't been able to go to England for like 3 years to visit family.
Oh, that's right.
And they were leaving a few days, and I was like, God, I hope they don't get COVID from that situation.
Oh my god. Well, with that, sorry, I was curious about that because we hadn't talked about it, and it was like, wait a minute. How'd that end up going? So, but that's how it went, I guess.
Yeah, interesting night.
Well,
I was really disappointed we didn't actually see Alex. I think he would have been awesome.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious. Yeah, because speaking of Trump, he plays
Air Trump,
the dumb Trump. Yeah.
I feel like it'd be really good.
So good.
I'm like, damn it!
Oh my god. All right, we ready to dive into Paranormal War Tactics?
Let's get into
Here we go. All right. So this one's going to bring us way the fuck back. Like way back to episode 1 of Bewitched Banter.
Okay. Fox Sisters.
Close. History of Tarot. And remember what in that very first episode, almost a year ago. Oh my god, we're almost a year old, guys. Like us, support us in any way you can, please.
Oh yeah, we keep forgetting to ask. If you haven't already and you listen, please leave us a review, a kind one.
A very nice one, and stars, rate us.
If you don't have a good thing to say, then just leave it alone.
Let it at us.
Just don't tell us.
Fuck off.
Yeah, basically. Basically, kindly fuck off.
Oh my god. So, episode 1, again, was talking about psychics and shamans, or seers, used by kings and pharaohs to tell the future.
Yeah.
And essentially really tell the kings and pharaohs where to move the army, where to retreat. We're going to have crops, we're not going to have crops. All the shit that you would need to have a structured, civilized society, they pretended to foresee or claim to know, and then become trusted advisors to the kings.
Yeah, I learned that when I went to Belize.
Yes, I remember you telling me the Mayans, right?
Yeah.
Yep, very much. So often...
But they actually did know most of the time.
I know.
Isn't that...
See?
No,
that's my point. Says my skeptic friend.
No, but I feel like it was based on like the moon pattern and stuff.
Yeah, they were very scientific, obviously, to build those pyramids all around Quintana Roo, which is where you're going.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh my god. So, side note, Amy made the most fucking hilarious goddamn presentation for her friends. So every year they're going on like an exotic trip, right?
Yeah.
Of sorts, to regroup as friends from Indiana. And as y'all know, that's where Amy's from, Meth Vernon. So the Hooja Hoes planned this vacation.
A hocation.
And she did a whole slideshow presenting her choice, her suggestion, full on with like cutouts of her friends' heads on like pasted models. Fucking hilarious.
I had a lot of fun. Let's just say that.
Oh my god, she showed me before we started recording, and we're both still a little stoned, and
yeah,
it was
like, this will be
goddamn hilarious.
Mood booster.
All right, so speaking of those Mayan kings and other kings and seers, brief reminder, they would often use shells. It could be any type of talisman to help them see the future, but most often, as I said, they would use astrology or numerology and look at the stars to inform their psychic abilities, right? To my point, there's something to the mathematics, physics, and psychic stuff, but that's my belief.
I think they were smart and they figured shit out.
These seers were, again, used throughout ancient civilizations, including Mesopotamia, Egypt, and India. And just another quick reminder, because it will come into play in my little history about paranormal abilities. Psychic is a person who claims to use extrasensory perception, or ESP, mark that word ESP for this history, to gain or give information hidden from the normal senses, particularly involving telepathy or clairvoyance. They perform acts that are apparently inexplicable to natural laws, such as psychokinesis or teleportation. So psychokinesis is moving things with your mind.
Okay.
And this will come to play into the history. More importantly, which will come into play and more prominently, is remote viewing. Do you remember what that is?
Kind of. It's like where you view something where you're not there.
Kind of, yeah. So this is from dictionary.com. Remote viewing is the practice of seeking impressions about a distant or unseen subject, purportedly sensing that place with the mind. Typically, the remote viewer is expected to give information about an object, event, person, or location that is hidden from the physical view and separated at some distance. So
that was a lot of bullshit you just spewed.
So the U.S. military does not think so. Well, now it does, but I'm going to get into
I was like, this is some bullshit.
That
okay, come
they do not or did not necessarily rule it out as a spy tactic.
Okay.
For several wars, prominent wars. Okay, so today the use of paranormal tactics in war is more widely known as psychological warfare. So what is psychological warfare? Any ideas?
It's like a mind trip.
More so, essentially, it's using psychological operations or psyop to target specific audience in order to gain a reaction, like demoralizing them, or i.e. scaring the shit out of enemy troops.
Oh, that's like my story I'm going to cover.
Oh, nice. Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah,
with Ouija, right?
2 guys who were prisoners of war during the World War I. They used the Ouija board to, like, outpower their, like, the people who are keeping them in prison.
Whoa. Did it work?
Yeah.
So don't tell me anything else. I'm so curious.
It's the only reason they were alive. It's interesting.
See?
No, but I think it's power manipulation. They even had to go to, like, I don't give too much away, but they even had to go to, like, a psych ward for 6 months.
Oh, shit.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway. I digress.
Something to that. I can't wait to hear it next week.
I was like, this is a crazy story.
Yeah, it is. But back to psychological warfare, which is primarily manipulating paranormal beliefs of the local culture to scare the shit out of them again.
Okay.
And certainly exploiting cultural values, again, belief systems, with the ultimate goal to impact behavior and throw their enemies emotionally and psychologically off balance.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Pretty fucked up, if you think about it.
It's fucked up and fascinating.
Yeah. So, as I've said, these tactics have been used as far back as Babylon, using mostly horoscopes or astrology. But this, just to wrap up how nefarious psychological warfare is, this is a quote from a blog titled "From Ghosts to Vampires: The Use of Supernatural in Warfare." Okay, quote, "Psychological warfare is one of those tools militaries use to try to gain an advantage during a conflict. Tactics such as propaganda, i.e. old school PR, not proud of it, are well known, but less so is the playing on the superstitions and supernatural beliefs of the targeted populations. For years, again, militaries have employed these tactics in an attempt to scare off the enemy. But did they succeed? And if so, how?"
I feel like they did.
End quote. Well, another episode back, way back when we covered Hitler's horoscope. So I think it was our astrology episode. Yeah. We know from that episode, brief throwback, and if you haven't listened, take a look because it was a really fun one. World War II, the U.S. military is no exception to using horoscopes to manipulate the public.
Wow.
Both the Americans and the Germans, if you recall, where they used BS made-up horoscopes to get people rallied around the war efforts in both countries.
That's crazy.
So, U.S. military is not below using quote-unquote paranormal tactics at all. But you may not know, like the Project Hitler's horoscope, that's what I'm calling it for now, because I don't recall if it had an actual name. Project Hitler's horoscope, that happened just a few decades later. There was a successor, and it was called Project Stargate. Ever heard of it?
No.
Ever heard of it? It's pretty fucking cool, to me especially. But eventually Project Stargate was deemed unsuccessful when the CIA declassified 12 million pages of documents about Project Stargate.
Wow.
Like 12 million fucking pages. And I actually pulled some info from a FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, that somebody had archived regarding this story.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
Is it?
Yes. Like, it just goes back to our UFO conversation, another episode throwback of, like, the government's purposeful use of manipulating the facts. It's really fucking scary.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, it's just a mind fuck. This whole episode got me on, like, a whole, like,
different level. That's interesting, though.
Rabbit hole. But anyway, so Project Stargate, what was it? We know in the end the government says it was all bullshit. However, what was it? Well, essentially, it's the CIA using an entire army of psychic spies to gain intel on the Russians. During this time, it was the 1970s, by the way, so it's the Cold War. And what's so funny?
I just like I was sitting here picking my nose.
Oh my god, you really were. I didn't even straight up. I don't know why. We're best friends. We're that comfy.
I was just like, wow.
I didn't even register it.
What were you saying?
We got a nose digger up in here. Gold digger. Find any gold up there? Okay. Project Stargate. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sexy Jesus would not be in your vagina after that scene.
Yeah.
So last night, do you want to tell them what you said?
You can tell them.
Apparently, Amy was talking about her puss all night to a new team of pretty much all single male kickball players, right? And she said what Jesus is in my pussy?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really bizarre if you know anything about Amy. She doesn't even believe in Jesus. So,
yeah, and Corey was probably like, what is Amy talking
and then
about?
Sexy Jesus could come up on here anytime, you know what I'm saying? But that's Sexy Jesus. Apparently Amy was thinking about...
I think it was just Allie and Corey, not everyone.
Let's hope.
Yeah. Let's
hope. You know what? If not, fuck off. Who cares? You're fantasizing about Sexy Jesus. It's okay. I mean, I do too, as we know, on this show. Okay. Fucking A. Back to psychic spies used by the CIA.
God, I hope we're not obnoxious.
In Project Stargate. Let me set the stage. It was the 1970s, and the Cold War was a constant threat. People were constantly scared of Russians' communist attacks. Somehow, during this period, there's a lot of espionage going on in general, but through that effort, somehow the U.S. military caught wind that the Russians...
Are you okay?
No, because you're picking your nose again. Okay, I'm gonna get through this. God damn it. I'm gonna do this. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Gonna get through this. Gonna get through this. Gonna get through this. Oh, God. Okay. So, Cold War, people are scared as shit.
Cold War, people all scared as shit.
Scared as shit all the time, hiding under their desks.
This is Krista's history.
That's right. You better get with it.
Fucking get with it.
Get it right or pay the price, as Camp Anawana would say.
I was just laughing about when you came to my office, you're like, fucking fuck.
Oh,
fuck,
yeah.
fuck.
So.
And I go, can you not cuss a lot? My office is really quiet. And you go, I'll fucking try not to.
I did? Oh, that's bad.
The next 2 seconds.
Oops.
I was like, she came and helped.
Content is explicit. You have been warned.
Help herself.
Whoopsie daisy. I'm working on it.
You are?
I'm gonna start. Anyhow, on to the fucking next sentence.
I kind of put my mind down so I can lay down while you're...
Oh no, is it that boring?
No!
Do you want to do it later?
No, I just want to get comfortable.
No, because then your bitch ass is gonna fall asleep. Fuck no. Do you want to pick it up later?
Here's your pause first.
Okay. Okay, back at it. Now that Amy has taken her nap and totally didn't give a shit of my history. Just kidding. She's just a little stone still. So we're going to try to pick it back up here. Oh, son of a bitch. Now I have to find where I'm at. Okay.
You can do it. You can do hard things.
But yeah, I can. For 30 seconds. Anything for 30 seconds. Amy's a OTF cult member now. Just thought I should let everyone know who cares about her. She took my place, my honorary place as the OTF cult member.
Cult.
Yeah, I enjoyed it until I couldn't afford it anymore. Okay, we ready for Cold War, Project Stargate, and psychic spies?
Yes.
It was the 1970s. Again, everyone was scared as shit, hiding under their desk.
Yeah, we couldn't get past that sentence last time.
And this was because there was a constant threat of nuclear warfare, missiles, all that bullshit from Russia.
After World War II?
Yes, 1970s.
Okay.
So far after, well, I guess 20 years after, so not like hundreds of years.
Not related then.
But anyhow, after, to answer your question. So
you're really trying to be nice. You're like, yeah, 20 years later. I'm like, that's what I get for pretending to know I know shit.
Oh my god, I love it. You're English. We excuse you. We excuse you. Okay, so somehow the military caught wind that the Russians had been developing their own psychic warfare and psychological warfare in the form of ESP and mind control. So think like Terminator, but like less like machine. Think more along the lines of having soldiers having the ability to control people and things with their mind.
Okay.
And that's what the Russians were evidently studying.
Okay.
As warfare. So obviously the US was like, hold up, absolutely not. They can spy on us with psychics. Well, we can do the damn thing as well. So we're gonna start our own. We're gonna start our own shit. So like usual, a dick measuring contest between the US and Russia, which still goes on today, you see.
That's interesting.
What do you know?
Yeah.
Currently. Oh my god, did you hear Russia's going into the like nuclear power plants in Ukraine?
That's terrifying.
Fucking scary, right? Yeah.
God.
Anyway.
That's what happens when you have too small of a penis.
Amen. Amen. So because of small peni, because of small peni, what did I say? Oh, I was Daenerys Targaryen on the search for dicks.
Yeah, you're like, I don't care how high my body count gets. You said like a look of determination I've never seen before.
Okay, yeah, so picture like Daenerys on her first dragon ride, and I was like looking up at the sky with my hands on my hips, like, I don't care how high my body count is. And I was just like, I'm getting dicked.
I was like, and I was like, wait a second. Did she just give a motivational like talk about getting dicked herself?
I certainly did. I put that shit out in the universe, baby. I know she heard me. So
your Krista's TED Talk.
on how to manifest good dick. Oh, I should start that, shouldn't I?
What?
TED Talk on how to manifest good.
I mean, you
Peen.
could. You got a mic.
Oh my god, I'm gonna do it. Damn it. TED Talk about dick coming soon near you.
You really think so?
What you trying to say? I ain't trying to. What are you trying to say?
I guess that could be our, what do you call it? Bonus episodes for
Patreon. How I got dick?
Yeah.
Dick tales.
Yeah.
Instead of duck tails, dick tails.
Dick tails.
I don't know. We'll workshop. We'll workshop that one.
That might need some work.
Anyhow, back to ESP and mind control. We're thinking Terminator, but soldiers like actually being able to kill someone with their mind.
Okay.
And U.S. starts their own project. And this is where fellow believer comes in the early 70s. Major General Edmund Thompson. He was the first big believer in psychic abilities to be used as warfare. And he ordered the CIA to seriously look into and study ESPA, otherwise known as extrasensory perception activities. And henceforth created this entire army of psychic spies. Like the CIA.
I feel so dumb right now. I'm not following.
Oh. So enter a believer in paranormal activity and psychics, who also happened to be a major general. And he believed in the ability to use psychics for warfare so much that he ordered, did I say his name? Major General Edmund Thompson. Again, a huge believer. And he ordered the CIA to seriously look into extrasensory perception and activities related to that. So,
is he American?
Yep.
Okay.
He was a U.S. CIA guy. And so henceforth, after this order, a whole entire army of psychic spies was created by the U.S. military. And again, you can imagine, the skeptic in you would love to hear this, that he met many skeptics like yourself within the CIA. But thankfully, thanks to the backing of Major General Albert Stubbs, I'm going to call him from here on out, General Stubbs III, backed General Thompson into saying, no, we're going to look into this, and we're calling it Project Stargate, and they began to build a plan.
Okay.
So, speaking of going into a psych ward, we were talking about that earlier. Because they met so much pushback initially, General Stubbs III was reportedly sent to a psychologist by the CIA to evaluate his competence.
Wow.
But he passed, and from there, in 1972, the CIA began to fund its own top secret research into psychic abilities at the Stanford Research Institute.
Wow.
SRI for short, in Menlo Park, California. Which I think is like part of Silicon Valley, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
I don't know California. But anyway, from there, once they established this research, top secret research, guess who they hired?
Sylvia Brown.
Close. Our good old pal, psychic turned fraud, Uri Geller. And if you remember, you covered this guy in your Magicians episode, where the amazing Randy debunked Uri. And yes, Uri Geller was hired by the U.S. government to lead Project Stargate. And as a reminder, Uri was the self-proclaimed mind spoon bender. So he would claim to bend metal objects like spoons with his mind. And he led this U.S.-funded military project.
Wow. So do you have a wacko for a boss?
I mean,
can you imagine working under him?
Knowing me, I'd probably be a believer, right? I'd be fascinated, but...
You believe him?
I mean, I don't know.
I feel like you'd be a con artist.
Well, like, they obviously found out he was years later, thanks to Amazing Randy.
You would have believed him, you think?
I don't know, I probably would have, knowing me. Or I would have found the confirmation bias to believe in how he did it with his mind.
Yeah.
Molly saying hello to everybody.
Yeah, I was like, oh my
it's
God.
football season. Fuck the Bucks.
I was like, why is Molly barking so much?
Go Irish. That's for you, Molly. Not the dog, but sister-in-law, mama. Go Irish. As I watch it with Amy's husband, who's a Buckeye. Ew. Okay. So Uri Geller's leading Project Stargate for the U.S. military and CIA. And there's a book written by Annie Jacobson called The Phenomena, The Secret History of the U.S. Government's Investigation into ESP and Psychokinesis. And in it, she says that the CIA analysts wanted to probe Geller's abilities in the area of mind control and projection, and if it was possible to use it for national security purposes. So, to again counteract the Russians' supposed investigation into using psychics for warfare.
So weird to think about psychological warfare.
Mm-hmm. It's scary. It's really, really a mindfuck, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But according to this author, Jacobson...
Do you think they use those tactics today?
1,000%, and we're going to get to it.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yes, ma'am. What's the show? Was you telling me to watch Severance?
Oh, Severance is really good.
Super scary, thinking of mind control and tests and who the fuck knows. And if we are in a matrix, then fuck off. Then I manifest this shit to pop off. Bewitched bands are popping off in the matrix. Thank you. But yeah, no, that whole concept freaks me the fuck out.
That show?
That and just the matrix and who are we? You know, all those existential, crazy human questions.
Yeah.
Ooh. Don't let me think about that when I'm stoned. Don't let me go there.
I'll take you to a dark place.
I will. It's scary, man. But anyhow, okay, so Geller was hired, and he played a huge role into actually making the CIA and the government pay attention to this study of ESP and psychokinesis. And in the winter of 1975, Geller evidently took place in more than 500 series of classified tests to test his psychokinesis abilities, again, to move things with your mind.
Okay.
And read things, like other people's minds. So they were in this same facility that he was being tested were his abilities. Other scientists were testing other weapons like nuclear warheads, laser systems, and other technologies. Probably drones back then that obviously are now popular today, but who knows? They've been spying on our asses for a very long time. So to answer your question earlier, anyway. So eventually the CIA actually shut down its work with ESP in the late 70s, but Project Stargate still continued under the Defense Intelligence Agency and became a property of the Army in Fort Meade, Maryland. So moved from California to Maryland, from the CIA to the Defense Agency. Okay. So still continued. And for the next 20 years, Congress contributed, so that's what, 90s. So from the 70s to the 90s, Congress still approved funds for this remote viewing program.
Wow.
So yes, still goes on.
That's crazy.
And it was so supported by Congress that one congressman said, Representative Charlie Rose of North Carolina said, "It seems to me a hell of a cheap radar system, and if the Russians have it and we don't, we're in serious trouble."
Serious trouble.
Serious trouble, see? The Russians are doing it. We better be on it, see? So for all those years, it was heavily funded and backed, albeit on classified records and secret missions, but it was happening. And I frankly still think it is to this day. They just, again, haven't released it because that's part of their control game. So anyhow.
That's creepy, though.
Yeah, think about it. I mean, look, right here. This shit is recording us right now. Yeah. My phone, I just picked up everyone, whose speakers happen to be pointing right at my mic. So I'm going to probably open Google and find World Wars type of history, guaranteed. When I go home.
Well, you were searching it though.
Yeah, now I'm talking about it, so it gives Google an extra bump of credibility to get up in my shit. Anyhow, back to psychics and Project Stargate. One said psychic got some notoriety from Project Stargate was Joseph McConaughey. McConaughey? Yes. And he also apparently was a part of 450 missions between 1978 and 1984. And he helped the army to locate hostages in Iran. He helped point CIA agents to a suspected KGB agent who was eventually captured in South Africa.
Wow.
So that lent him to his credibility. Later, he was debunked by other people, some of the folks in the project. There was another psychic that was hired as part of the psychic spy unit named Angela Della Flora Ford, and she was asked to find and source a former custom agent who went on the lam. And I don't know what their crime had been, but anyway, apparently they were looking for this person. And Customs actually apprehended him 100 miles west in Wyoming in a town called Lovell, like Lovell. And the psychic, Angela, said on a CBS News 48 Hours program that she actually remote viewed and spotted the suspect in Lowell, Wyoming. So... and she had apparently used that information to inform the CIA.
That's interesting.
So, just two little factoids from two of the participants and psychic.
Two of the bullshit artists.
Yeah, according to Ames. No, but anyway, obviously, we know this based on many conversations we've had, especially our UFOs episode, that the Pentagon publicly denies a lot of things that they're researching and looking into, partly for protection, mostly for mind control of the public. And so even still, while they publicly denied all of this psychic research, reports leaked out in the 1980s of details of these experiments. And then finally, in 1995, they released a report that said all of this rumored, research of remote viewing and psychic abilities as military intelligence was happening and happened.
Wow, that's crazy.
So they lying asses. The report.
It's weird to think what else they're keeping from us.
Everything. Or purposefully twisting things.
But I wonder if there's stuff that we'd be shocked to find out.
Aliens, we can teleport, let's see, cures for all sorts of diseases, guaranteed.
But I know they have the cure for HIV, but they're not really doing much about it.
Yeah, they're letting this fucking bastard charge millions of dollars for one pill.
I know.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because their grubby ass fingers are probably somehow connected to it.
It's really disgusting.
It's our government, folks. Yay!
Yeah.
That's the Republican side of me. That's fuck big government, but
no, but if Democrats regulated it, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, true.
And that's Republicans probably.
Getting the money. Yeah, you're probably right.
Private healthcare insurance, where the Democrats want to change it.
They don't want private. Oh wait, yeah, they do. You're right.
Yeah.
Democrats want publicly funded. Yes,
yeah.
I'm sorry, my bad. Okay, well, anyhow. So they're denying. Meanwhile, they're like, bitch, you have gold up there again.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I can't help myself. God, I'm a train wreck.
Dying. Okay, my best friend picks her nose. It's okay. Kumbaya. Okay. We all got things.
I'm still so painfully full. What about you?
I could eat a bagel right now. It's bad. I don't know. I'm going
to eat pasta, but I'm full.
I did that last night. I took a whole gummy and I ate a whole cauliflower pizza and one of my HelloFresh meals. And I was like, what the fuck?
Were you so full?
So grossly full. Could barely even lie on the couch. I felt like the blueberry girl in Willy Wonka.
You felt that full?
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, ooh. Not a repeat of today. Not a repeat.
Do you have to take melatonin to go to bed?
No.
I've done that before. I've been so full. I'm like, I have to go to bed because I'm in pain.
I was in pain, but I should have. That would have been a smart thing to do. Oh well. I got my
a HelloFresh meal and
a whole cauliflower pizza.
Wow, that's impressive.
It was not cute for my belly.
Is the HelloFresh for 2 people?
Yeah, but I only had 1 meal.
Oh.
I divided them up for the week. Oh yeah, no, fuck no. I would have exploded.
Like, wow.
Like the blueberry girl. I would have actually been her.
I'm pretty impressed.
Oh man. I got soups full.
We went to Corgente. So good.
It was so good. It's a sushi place in Phoenix.
No, it's the taco place.
Tacos, that's right. That's right. What do I think that? It's super good.
Because it's by the sushi place.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the government lying ass and motherfuckers.
I think we can't even get through this episode without digressing.
Well, there's a lot to say. So we learned that Project Stargate was real, but the report that did prove that it was real also declared the project was a failure. Quote, arguing, it remains unclear whether the existence of a paranormal phenomenon like remote viewing has been demonstrated. Let's see. And something beyond odd, analysts acknowledged that some trials had been successful in something, again, beyond odd, or statistical hiccups had taken place. But they concluded that the information on remote viewing had provided too vague of information that it wasn't even scientifically sound. So my point is, I think they're making that shit up. I think they know it works, and they're lying to us that they know it works. Because they're spying on our asses. That's my conclusion.
I don't think so. Why would they keep that from us?
So we don't have a militia uprise, because that's the most invasive form of your privacy.
What?
Mind control, mind reading.
You think they're mind controlling us?
Well, they certainly influence enough of marketing to make it seem like mind control, but it's just really solid propaganda and marketing.
What are we buying, though?
Consumerism, ideals that aren't true, American dream, buying a house, marriage, kids, all that bullshit. All the societal bullshit, man, trickles down. Anyway, I went to another place there. We're going to talk about something else.
Well, that's probably true.
Yeah, that's my point. I think
we all buy into it, though.
Yeah, we do. And that's the scary part. But at least we're questioning it.
Yeah.
At least we have that critical thinking left and ability on our own autonomy to question. That would be scary.
It would be kind of cool just to live off the land and not have a job.
Yeah, it would. I would have to hire a sexy cowboy daddy for that job, because I'm not killing no animals myself, but sexy cowboy fantasy fulfilled in that dream.
Yeah, I don't know how my vegetables would do. The garden.
I think you'd have a beautiful garden, actually. Okay, so eventually, in 1995, again, they shut down the program. However, do you think the program was shut down after 1995?
No.
You would be right. The government's interest in psychic phenomena actually continued with the Office of Naval Research.
It's just weird because no one ever talks about this shit.
That's the point. They don't want us to talk about it.
Are you dropping a Q?
Anon?
Yeah, by the way, we got a lot of QAnon haters on our YouTube video. It was awesome.
And also, if you're going to tell us why we're wrong, tell us why we're wrong. So if you can't even do that, then...
Yeah, I wrote back to one guy. He's like, you made this up. And I was like, I use Fox News, Washington Post, and New York Times as credible sources.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I was proud of you. I was like,
yeah, and I said, so tell me what I got wrong. You just didn't respond.
Yeah, so...
Sucks to suck.
Good times.
Sucks to be a QAnon follower.
Good times. Yeah, y'all just...
Yeah, some guy wrote some crazy shit about JFK still being alive.
Oh, yeah, I was like, I just saw Bobby Kennedy somewhere, and I scanned it, and I was like, I can't follow.
There's crazy talk.
Like, what's happening?
That's crazy talk.
I didn't even fully read it, because I just ignored it.
I read it, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, You know, I'm a conspiracy theorist and many things, but like also this year has taught me to really think about why I'm so skeptical of government. So anyway,
Why do you think you are?
because of shit like this propaganda that they've always used since the beginning of time, as stated at the very top of this episode. Like it's old school ass propaganda to persuade the public in a venue or an avenue that you want to be the truth. And the scariest part is that truth is that person's truth or that organization's truth. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's all a mindfuck. But
Yeah, I read this like interesting quote when I was looking at QAnon. It was something about even though it's not true, it's their reality, so the consequences of their reality are real. And
exactly.
Like, fuck.
Nailed it.
It's kind of terrifying.
It's exactly the truth.
Yeah.
Oof. But anyway, so
we need to do a QAnon like full episode where we actually cover it.
Yeah. And maybe get it quote unquote right this time.
Okay, Q.
That's my cousin you're talking to in upstate New York. I swear to God.
Do you think he's your cousin?
Well, listen, I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to name names, but he's a very, very intelligent computer person. He could hack anything if he wanted to. He can build computers. He can, like, he's just so smart technologically in computer science, and
that's just impressive to me.
It is. It's a remarkable gift, and he is an anti-vaxxer, and like over Thanksgiving we didn't get in a fight. We just were like, okay, we're not talking about this right now. Over FaceTime about how, you know, if you get the vaccine, you can still transmit it. And actually, he ended up being right. But anyway.
Yeah.
So he's an anti-vaxxer.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, maybe that's my cousin. Maybe my cousin's cute.
I don't really understand how you be anti-vaxxer. It just doesn't even make sense.
People's radical ideas are very scary.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Like, something's gonna save me from not dying. Sign me up.
I mean,
even if it doesn't work, I at least would like the thought that it does.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. But anyhow, so
people are just batshit crazy.
Yeah,
basically.
1,000%. A lot of folks are. Okay, almost done here actually. So the Project Stargate did shut down again in 1995, and that, like I said, it did not mark the end of the government's research. What are you laughing at now?
No, I can't tell you.
Do I have something on my face?
No.
Oh, now I'm paranoid, guys. Something's on my face.
No, I'll pick my nose.
Oh. Look, when you find the gold nugget, we're putting that in our down payment for the Bewitched Banter Pod account. Okay?
$-
Okay, so cut to 2014. The Office of Naval Research actually launched a 4-year program costing some $3.8 million to then explore the use of premonition or intuition with the U.S. sailors and Marines. So naval officers and Marines. And Dr. Edwin May, who was the former Stargate research lead, actually still continues to argue on the behalf of ESP as like a wartime tactic and a legitimate tool for the military. He said one of the studies that he led more recently, and it was funded by the Bial Foundation, said, quote, "It is probably the best experiment in the history of the field." So apparently this guy has had something going on, Dr. May, since 2014-15, still researching ESP. We don't know much else about it. But we do know that psychics and ESP is actually popular among Americans, much like back in World War II when horoscopes were. So a 2005 Gallup poll says 73% of Americans at the time when this report came out believe in some kind of paranormal phenomena, and 41% of those polled said that they believe in ESP specifically. Okay. So we're believers, a lot of us in this country, like myself. So still going on today, moved from the CIA to the Army, then to the Navy. But you best believe government still researching psychic abilities and potential uses thereof to spy on people and enemies, i.e., Russia.
Wow.
And if you follow in the news and not under a rock, you very much know that Russia is still very problematic for the United States. So that's a wrap on the history of psychological / psychic warfare history.
That was fascinating.
Right? Like it's really scary because we don't know. We don't know what they're doing, what they're not doing.
That's crazy, though.
And the other thing that the military is trying to use remote viewers for that is paranormal. They're still, as we know, trying to secretly discover anything around UFOs, crop circles, and then any other like paranormal phenomena. You bet damn right they have a research facility on it. Whether we know it or not, you know they're fucking researching that.
That's interesting.
So I thought it was pretty fucking cool. And obviously, that said, I'm finally going to wrap this up with a listicle of 5 psychological warfare uses by, of course, the lovely good old U.S. military.
Okay, I'm excited to hear these.
In several wars. And it's kind of sad, like I said at the top, it's really exploiting the local cultures and belief systems of these people, and that kind of fucks with me.
Yeah.
Like, I get that it's war strategy and tactics, but, like, at what cost?
Yeah.
To psychologically mindfuck with someone is so disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's unseen. You know, physical abuse and violence is one thing, right? Because we can see it. But, like, I don't know. Psychological abuse is really scary to me.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty terrifying.
Especially as we were talking about in the pool, I may or may not have been a victim of it, at least emotional. So, anyhow, that's depressing as fuck. But back to other examples.
Okay.
World War II. We studied this at length in our astrology episode, but Project Hitler's horoscope, where, again, the U.S. military used horoscopes to falsify information to the Nazis about Hitler's health and his whereabouts.
Okay.
In 1942, the Huk Rebellion, or the Hukbalhap rebellions, pardon the pronunciation, Titatel, because this is Philippines, or Filipina, Tagalog, I should say, Tagalog, which is the Philippine language. And in 1942 to 1954, the U.S. military was involved in fighting this supposed group of communist rebels. There was a local superstition that they took advantage of, like I said, and it was a belief in an evil creature called the Aswang. Aswang? This creature has been described as a winged vampiric witch that has a hankering for unborn fetuses. Blah. So kind of like the chupacabra in Latin culture, Mexican culture, where, you know, they suck blood.
Yeah.
And so what did the military do? They spread the rumor among the locals that the Aswang was on the loose. And they then quietly snatched the last man in the army line. Oh, so fucked up. And then essentially murdered him, punctured 2 holes in his neck as if the Aswang, like, bit him, and left him in the middle of the trail.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This was so messed
really
up.
Great. Thanks, USA.
What? That's crazy.
There was then Operation Wandering Soul in Vietnam. It kind of harkens me back to your Ghost Army episode a little bit. They didn't use paintings and pictures like they did in that episode. Which episode was that again? I don't know, it was badass. It was something with Army, but...
Yeah, it was the Ghost Army, and what did you cover?
I don't remember.
Oh,
anyway, go back to Ghost Army. That was a really good episode Amy covered of the Ghost Army in World War II. This is Vietnam era.
Is that when you covered Hitler's horoscope?
Oh, might have been.
Yeah.
Maybe it was that one. So same episode.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Take a listen, y'all. Anywhere you listen to podcasts. Bewitched Banter.
Bewitched Banter. Rate, view, and subscribe.
Please, ASAP. Thanks. And if you want to donate $2 a month, thanks. We greatly appreciate it. Okay, PSA over. Okay, so in Vietnam, the U.S. played on the lore of ghosts. So the Vietnamese believed that when a soldier died in battle, their soul would wander forever. And so what did the US do? Again, they created like spooky haunted Halloween tapes, essentially,
Wow.
and would play them blaring in the middle of the jungles, on boats down the rivers and creeks. And so the goal was obviously to disorient and scare the Viet Cong soldiers.
Wow.
However, this is really funny. Apparently, it wasn't working, this one wandering soul tape. And so instead, instead of the wandering soul tape, there's a picture of it I'll put up on Insta, where soldiers started playing Tina Turner instead.
That's awesome.
In the middle of the Vietnamese jungles. And apparently that worked because it distracted the soldiers and like were dancing and shit. So go
Wow.
Tina.
Wow.
Who knew she was such a patriot?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I thought that was funny. And there was also Operation Fantasia. This is Major General William, or Wild Bill. He was part of the Pearl Harbor response. And in 1941, when this happened, they were trying to, similarly to the Vietnamese, play on ghosts and try to fool the Japanese through different types of symbols that would represent ghosts, like evil eyes and curses or grotesque animals.
Okay.
A fox was particularly evil to the Japanese back then. And so they had the supernatural fox, and they had this whole campaign created, but evidently it didn't work, and they didn't even end up going through with this campaign. And in response to Pearl Harbor, as we know, we attacked back with a horrific bomb. But that's how they did it in Japan, Operation Fantasia. And actually, instead of 5, I only have 4. So that is a wrap on my little listicle of paranormal war tactics used by our lovely U.S. military, brought to you.
It's creepy.
America.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's creepy, though.
Yeah, so if you don't think they're listening, check your Google, check your computers, check your cache, check every motherfucking thing you do, because you are being followed and listened. And whether you have anything to hide or not, it's just the principle of being spied on that's so gross. Like, the notion of privacy is such a joke in this country, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
So,
I mean, I feel like they like had that girl's looking at furniture again.
Damn, didn't she say she was going to have a budget this month?
Yeah. Damn, she's on Wayfair again?
Oh, fuck.
She's out at home good, having a good time.
Or like when we search for our cases, oh, these bitches are at it again.
Or, she said she's going to be eating healthy, but cha-ching, she's paying
Jersey Mike's yet again.
a burger, cheeseburger.
We did split a cheeseburger today.
It was
incredible.
Fabulous. If you're from the Phoenix, Tempe region, go to Ghost Ranch.
Yeah,
It's
bomb
so
ass
good.
food and adorable New Mexican flavor and vibe.
Everything was so good.
So fucking good.
God,
Oh,
it was great.
well,
We obviously love our food.
hell yeah, we do.
It's been a good day though.
It's been a really fun day.
Yeah.
I'm about to go watch the Irish kick on the fuck guy's ass.
Yeah, and I'm about to eat my weight in pasta.
And
It's a great Saturday.
so that's our positives, I think, to wrap it up on.
Yeah, I
For
would
a
say
Saturday, this September 3rd.
4-day weekend. Hell yeah.
Yep. Labor Day. God
Yes.
knows we labor enough in this country.
We do. Fuck.
Oh,
Everyone work a little less. That's my advice.
preach.
Woo, should we say that's a wrap?
That's a wrap. Peace, bewitches.
Peace.
Have a safe holiday week.